Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of have part 2 of my infertility journey, I guess you could call it. I am about to get some blood work done, and I said I was going to take you guys through the whole journey with me, so I am going to be taking you through every little step and every little thing that we do. So yeah, today I'm getting more blood work done. The previous blood work I had gotten done was ordered by my gynecologist, and it was just a few things during my period to test for my hormones. This is a more overall inclusive blood test. I have the paper here. They're testing for a lot of things. So yeah, so today is, let me check the date. So today is Wednesday, August 26th. I am supposed to get this blood work done between cycle day 21 and 24 of my period. Today is cycle day 22. So I'm getting this done. Like I said, they're testing for a lot of things. It's super early in the morning. It's 7:45 right now. This test is actually not being done at their office for all blood work. I have to go to an outside lab that does it. It's honestly just cheaper that way because my insurance probably will cover this. I honestly don't know. I'm hoping that my insurance is going to cover this. So I'm alone. Chris didn't come with me. Like I said, he's not allowed in there, so there's no point of him just coming and waiting in the car. But yeah, I'm just waiting here. I did want to show you guys something really quickly though. Okay, so my doctor told me that there was really no point in me tracking my ovulation because with PCOS I can get false positives because I already have a naturally high LH level. But I just wanted to track it for my sake. I don't know, I just wanted to track it. I just wanted to know. And so I started tracking it. So I want to show you guys in my notebook how I'm tracking that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I hope you guys can see that well. So I started this is for the month of August, and then I just started with my cycle day. So cycle day 1 is August 5th because that's the first day of my period, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. 6, the little purple hearts are obviously when I'm sexually active, when my boyfriend and I have had intercourse. I just wanted to track that down because I thought that would be important. So I started tracking for ovulation on cycle day 7. I know usually people ovulate between cycle day 10 and 14, but since I have PCOS and I don't know if I ovulate, when I ovulate, any of that, I just wanted to start tracking right away because you can never be too sure. So let me zoom in so basically this is what the test looks like. You dip this and you test it in your urine, and then it has 2 lines. So unlike a pregnancy test, an ovulation test is always going to have 2 lines, and that does not mean that it's positive. It'll be positive when this line shows up darker than this line. So you see this is really faint, so I'm not ovulating here. This line has to be darker than this one. So I tested every day. I kind of tried to test around the same time. So you can see here, you can see that these are just really light. You can't really tell anything, but they kind of get darker as you go. And here on cycle day 14, they started getting really dark. So I started testing twice a day because when you have an LH surge, that means you're probably going to be ovulating within the next 12 to 24 hours. So here you can see my guess. These lines got darker here, and they were still not darker than this one. Obviously these have faded a little bit, but my guess is that I ovulated on cycle day 15. Again, like I said, I don't even know if I ovulated. I don't even know if this is a fake LH search or if it's real, but I decided that I just wanted to track it because I want to show my doctor. I want to see what he thinks. So on this day, the lines were actually darker. So this is where I ovulated, if I did, like I said, because I'm not sure if I even did. Another sign of ovulation is when you have discharge. It's called it's when the cervical mucus it discharges, and it's an eggy white. You know, girls, you know what that is. But I was trying to jot that down and I didn't have any of that. So like I said, I'm not sure. I tested again on August 20th to see if it went away. It was still a little high, but not as high as on this day. And then I kept testing the next 2 days, and you can see it drastically just went down. So today is August 26th. I am now 7 days post ovulation. That's what DPO means. So I've been tracking like 3 DPO, 4 DPO, like that. Once I get to 10 DPO, I do want to take a pregnancy test. I don't think I'm pregnant at all. Like, I really don't think so, but I just want to have it like for my memory and for my record. And it's safe to start testing like after day 10 DPO, that you can start testing for pregnancy if like you're trying to get pregnant and you're following an ovulation kit. So yeah, that's where we're at. I just wanted to show you guys this because I thought it was interesting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last clip you saw on here was me getting my blood work done. It's been about 2 weeks since then, and I am about to go get my HSG test done. If you don't know what that is, basically they're gonna insert a dye into my uterus to check if my tubes are blocked or how my uterus looks, if I have any fibroids or any polyps or anything like that. So I'm waiting to go get that done right now. I'm a little nervous, so much because it'll hurt. I am nervous about that, but I'm also nervous like about the results, and I'm just trying to remain positive and hope that nothing is wrong. So Chris is here. He got to come with me. I don't know if they're gonna let him in. Probably not, but we'll see. I will update you guys after. I'm probably not going to record in there because they probably won't let me, and it's my first time like actually here meeting the doctor, so I don't just want to stick a camera out in front of everyone. So yeah, I will let you guys know when I'm done how everything. Hey guys, so it's been a few hours since I got back from doing my HSG test. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy in the background as per usual, but it's been a few hours. It's 5 o'clock and I got it done at 10:30 this morning. I kind of just needed a little bit of time to like process my thoughts about how it went before I like came in here and talked about it. So we didn't get good news, but we didn't get bad news. So I'm just gonna take you guys through like how the whole thing went. I didn't talk a lot when I was in the car this morning, like letting you guys know that I was going in because I was so nervous. I was so nervous. So now that I've had time to like process it all and everything, I feel a lot more confident talking. So I was really nervous this morning. I was super nervous. Like I said, I wasn't as much nervous because it was gonna hurt. Like I had watched so many YouTube videos and everyone said that it was so painful, like the worst thing ever. And I feel like I psyched myself up to expect something really painful. But at the same time, I go through really painful periods. Like everyone described it to really painful cramps. And I go through that every month. So I was like, how bad can it be if I've been dealing with this like every month for so long? So I wasn't as much nervous for the pain. I was just nervous for the results. Like as much as I wanted to be positive and go in with like a positive mindset that everything was going to be okay, that's what I've done for all of my previous visits. And I always end up disappointed. Something is always wrong. And it kind of just like, as much as I want to try to be positive, when I'm so used to getting back bad news, it's hard to be positive. So I was more nervous about just having bad results. But I was also really excited to like get this over with, like get this done, because like once this is done and then it's like the next step and we can like move along in the process. I was also really excited to finally be able to go to the office and like meet the doctor in person. Everything so far has been through the computer and through the phone. So yeah, so I went in. They didn't let Chris in, which I was a little bit disappointed about, but I completely understand because of Corona. Everyone just wants to be super safe. So he just waited for me in the car. Took my blood pressure, they took my weight, I did a urine test. They just want to make sure you're not pregnant before they're inserting something into your uterus. And then you go to the room, and I had seen so many videos, like I said, that I knew what to expect to a T. The nurse was like, do you have any questions? And I just really didn't have any because I knew like what was coming. So basically you undress, they give you like this thing to cover you, like, you know, so your lady parts aren't out everywhere. You get on the bed, you put your legs up, just like when you're going to get your yearly exam at the gynecologist. And then the doctor came in, and then he did the test. He like talked throughout the whole thing, which made me feel so comfortable. It wasn't like silence. He just kept talking. He was asking me other questions about other things kind of to get my mind off of it, but at the same time explaining everything he was doing. So they use the speculum, I think it's called, don't quote me on that, to like open you up, and then he like cleans the cervix. He goes in with a catheter and he inserts the dye. When he inserted like the little catheter through my cervix, that kind of felt like a little pinch, but it wasn't anything. It was just like a little quick pinch and that's it. And then he starts putting the dye in, and he said he likes to put it in very slowly. There's no need to like aggressively put in all this dye, that he just likes to go very slowly, and that also reduces like the cramping and the pain on the person. I didn't feel anything. I didn't even feel like mild cramps. I didn't feel anything. From watching videos, I noticed that the process is fairly quick, and he was like talking through me the whole time, but I like kind of realized that it was taking a little bit. So I like knew. He just kept, and then he was like, okay, I'm gonna insert a little more, and then like a minute later he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna insert a little more, and I just knew. I was like, something's wrong. Like, I have a blockage, it's not going through. Like, I already know it. I couldn't see the screen at this point because it was behind me, and I much honestly rather had preferred it that way. I know a lot of people can see it the whole time it's happening, but I just like preferred that I couldn't see it because that was like gonna give me so much anxiety. So I just preferred that I like couldn't see what was happening. So then he's like, okay, I'm gonna kind of insert a lot now, so it might hurt. So he kind of inserted a lot more dye, and when he did that, I did feel cramping. It felt like period cramps. If you're not used to period cramps, this might feel painful and it might hurt, but I was used to it, so it was nothing like painful that I wanted to cry, or just felt like normal period cramps, and it only lasted like 30 seconds and then it went away. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna have you tilt to the left, and then I tilted to the left, and then he's like, okay, now I'm gonna have you tilt to the right, and I tilted to the right, and then they took a few pictures, and then it was all done, and he explained to me what he saw. So he had me turn around and see, and I have pictures. I took pictures on my phone, so I am gonna insert those here so you guys can see them. But as it turns out, what I predicted, I have a blocked tube. So the good news is that both of my tubes are not blocked. The bad news is that one of my tubes is blocked. When he inserted it, it like wasn't going. It was staying in my uterus. I'm gonna show you guys. So this is it. This is, like I said, I'm gonna put a picture on here too, but this is my uterus, and this is like the dye in there. So it was just kind of staying in there, and it really wasn't going anywhere. So it wasn't until he put like a lot more, he's like, okay, I'm gonna put a lot more, and like kind of pushed it through, that on the left side the dye finally like did go through. So here you can see the dye go through that fallopian tube and just like spill out, but you can see that on this right side it still was not going through. So he tried it again. He tried to send a little more, and you'll see, let me zoom this in. You'll see on here where it kind of went through a little bit, but it didn't go all the way through like the other one. So he tried that a few times. It wasn't working. The left fallopian tube was perfectly fine. It was coming out. It was spilling. He kept putting more, and it just kept coming out. But that right one, it was just not budging. It went in just a tiny little bit, but it didn't go fully through. I know I should be grateful, like one of my tubes is unblocked, but it's so disappointing getting constant bad news. So I can still get pregnant because I can still ovulate like through the left side, and the sperm and the egg can meet through that tube. But when you ovulate, you don't ovulate from both sides. It's like one. So I could have been ovulating this whole time on that ovary and like that tube that's closed. And that's why nothing's happening, because it's blocked. And then he also mentioned, if you watched my first video, then you would know that I mentioned that I do have a septate in my uterus, which is, I put a picture before, it's kind of when your uterus is like abnormally shaped. So like the top of a uterus is usually like straight, and then the uterus goes down like this. On here, on the picture, you can see that my uterus kind of dips, and it's not like straight at the top. So he said it's a very minimal septate. He said he's not extremely concerned with it. He doesn't really like recommend surgery for it because It's very minimal. It's not like it's straight down the middle, like completely separating the uterus into 2 parts. But he did schedule me to get a 3D ultrasound done. So he really wants me to get that done just to get a better picture and a better overall look at it. So I went ahead and I scheduled that appointment to get that 3D ultrasound done. I have that in 2 weeks. I have the appointment to get that 3D ultrasound done, which is another thing that's really frustrating when it comes to all this. It's like everything takes time, and like when you schedule something, it's scheduled so far out, and like you just want to get everything done right away, and you want to have the answers, and you want to start like working towards a solution, and it's like you have to keep waiting on all the results for all these tests. And so right now that's what I'm doing. He does want to do another semen analysis on my boyfriend, on Chris. So we did schedule that so he can get another semen analysis done. As far as to what caused my tube to be blocked, it's unknown. Like if I've had previous surgeries before, it could be like scar tissue. If I've had like ectopic pregnancies, it could be from that. If I've had like STDs, like gonorrhea, chlamydia, anything like that. But I've actually never had that. I haven't had any STDs. I've been tested for all of them. I haven't had that. I haven't had any ectopic pregnancies. I haven't had any surgeries. So it's kind of just like completely unsure as to what the cause of it right now is. But he's not really worried about it because I still have one fully functioning one. So I guess I'm not really worried about it. It is upsetting, like I said, because I was really hoping that both of my tubes would be clear and would be open. You know, I just feel like there's so many things. Like I have this septate in my uterus, and then I have PCOS, and now I have a blocked tube, and it's just like what more can happen that can make this journey like any harder than it has to be. So I've set myself up to learn how to like take the disappointments and take the not so good news better. I don't want to be upset every time I get bad news. It's hard, but it is what it is. I'm very, very, very thankful to have Chris throughout this whole thing. He's made me feel so much better, and he's made me feel like it's okay to feel what I feel, and that I shouldn't be ashamed of feeling the emotions that I'm feeling, and that it's okay to talk about them. And so yeah, I'm just really thankful for him. The first clip that you saw in this was me getting my blood work done, and he did tell me that my blood work came back really good. Everything looks fine. My glucose test, my levels were really good. I'm just waiting to get that done in 2 weeks. My boyfriend's getting his semen analysis, and then once they have the results for both of that, they will give us a call back so we can go into the office and discuss further steps. So yeah, just filling you guys in. I know it's been like almost a month since I posted my last video, but I was just waiting to get this done before I filled you guys in. And yeah, so I will keep you guys posted as soon as I get that done and I have results and I know what the next step is, and I will come on here and let you guys know as well. I also really want to thank everyone for the kindness and the support and the love that I received on my last video. It makes me feel so good to know that there's a bunch of people that saw my video that I helped, and it makes me feel really sad at the same time that there's so many people going through the same struggles, because I know how isolating and I know how tough this journey is. So my heart really goes out to anyone that's going through something like this. You're not alone. I know how hard this is. I'm always here if you need to talk. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.